For over 2 decades, One Piece fans have followed the Straw Hat Pirates navigate the treacherous waters of the Grand Line in search of Gold Roger's fabled treasure, the One Piece. The seemingly never-ending journey has delivered countless iconic moments in its pursuit of being arguably one of the greatest animes of all time. Now, for the 4th time, Bandai Namco and Koei Tecmo's Omega Force, creators of the legendary Dynasty Warriors series, have made it possible to replay these iconic moments in godlike fashion. I'm Matt with Cinelinx, and this is our review of One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. In most video games, the story is typically the most important part. However, for a few select titles, the story tends to take a backseat to awesome gameplay. That's usually the case for any Omega Force title. Odds are, if you ask 100 gamers what Dynasty Warriors was actually about, most would probably be able to just tell you about the gameplay. In no way is that a diss, but more of a testament to how memorable their unique brand of combat is. The One Piece Pirate Warriors series adopts this unique style of play by pitting the beloved characters of the One Piece series against the villainous pirates and marines they encounter in large-scale battles. These large-scale battles often see thousands upon thousands of enemies take up zones across the environment, which you then have to liberate. Half the fun of One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 though is the dominant way in which you're able to conquer enemies and claim zones. Unlike the previous games in the One Piece Pirate Warriors series, the 4th game allows players to take to the air to deliver seemingly unending combos with the new aerial action mode. I actually really love this addition. With it, I could decimate loads of enemies in successful strikes. Even better was the smooth way in which I could land combos, cancel moves, and start combos over, making aerial attacks feel non-stop, much to the chagrin of the pirate pawns. That said, there are limitations on which characters are able to successfully use aerial action. I found characters like Luffy and Sanji easy to manage in the sky, while characters like Zoro, Usopp, and Law were better off keeping their feet firmly planted. I also really enjoyed how easy the skill trees were to navigate. They're split into 3 different maps. The first is for every character across the board, whereas the next 2 were solely for the individual characters. By using berries and various metals acquired in battle, you could upgrade and unlock everything from life, defense, attack, combos, and even skills and special abilities. After purchasing these upgrades, I immediately saw results with battles becoming more satisfying and more rewarding. One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 made me feel unstoppable. With countless enemies coming at me and insanely powerful abilities at my disposal, I felt like I was an anime character. In fact, I often tested myself to see how long I could keep my hit count going and managed to get my count past 10,000. There's just something really satisfying about performing an onslaught of attacks, defeating enemies with ease, and taking 0 damage. After playing countless hours of One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, I was left ultimately satisfied with a Luffy-sized smile on my face. The action is non-stop, explosive, strategic, challenging, and just overall fun. Mix that in with the beautifully designed landscapes and cinematic storytelling, and Pirate Warriors 4 is just a really fun experience. While the gameplay is what makes the game fun, reliving the story is the main attraction for Pirate Warriors 4. The game tries to cover as much as it can, but with 20 years of episodes, memorable characters, storylines, and limited amount of space allotted for the game, they just aren't able to cover all of it. As a result, the story mode mainly focuses on the big moments that happen in Alabasta, Enies Lobby, the Paramount War, Dressrosa, Whole Cake Island, and a Wano arc that really only serves to end the Pirate Warriors 4 campaign. However, since the Wano arc isn't complete in the series, it's really just a poor imitation of it. The story also features the same Japanese voice cast that have been voicing this cast for over 2 decades. Their involvement is a nice addition, and seeing their characters in the game's graphic style is really satisfying. All that said, while the game does a good job of highlighting the bigger moments of the series, it's no substitute for the actual anime manga series. It's more like Spark Notes. They show the important scenes without much context, so if you're new to the series, you may not quite understand everything that's going on. It's definitely a game that's more for those avid fans of either the anime or the manga to play through some of their favorite parts. But if you're not bothered too much by spoilers, One Piece Pirate Warriors is actually a good introduction to the series. You meet the characters, get to know a little about them, and witness some crazy situations that make you hungry to know more. Every time I sat down to play, I had this overwhelming compulsion to go back and watch the anime. In the 20 years that One Piece has been around, there are over 900 named characters. Thankfully, in One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, the number of playable characters is drastically reduced to a little over 40. Unlockable and playable in the story campaign, each character has their own unique feel and style. The styles are actually separated into 3 different categories: power, speed, and technique. I found the power style characters to be the easiest, while the speed characters were fun to play with, but sometimes a bit too fast. Their attacks had a chance to miss targets altogether. Now, technique characters, on the other hand, were the toughest to play with. When playing with the likes of Usopp and Law, I had several moments where I just wanted to turn off the game, walk away, and just watch One Piece. The biggest problem with technique style characters is that the simple button scheme these games employ doesn't translate as well to them. Their attacks and movements often felt bogged down and sometimes irrelevant. They did get easier to play with over time, but they were definitely the hard difficulty of characters. I personally much preferred my Luffy and Whitebeard power types. Each of the over 40 characters characters aren't just playable in the story mode. Every character you've unlocked is in other modes One Piece Warriors 4 has to offer: Treasure Mode and Freelog. Freelog is the free play game mode that lets players battle across landscapes using any unlocked characters. Treasure Mode is more of a mission-based mode used to uncover more unlockables and break up the monotony. These modes are fun, but as I said before, the main attraction for the game is the adapted story. Now for the $60 question: should you play One Piece Pirate Warriors 4? If you're a fan of the series in any way, then yes. The game does the story justice in every facet. I would have loved to have more context, but the reality is only the anime and the manga have time for that. However, based on what was conceivable, the story is every bit what One Piece fans have come to love. If you're a fan of Dynasty Warriors' musou style of gaming, then it's undoubtedly a must-buy. I hadn't played a musou game in a really long time, and after having an absolute blast playing Pirate Warriors 4, I struggled to figure out why it had been so long since I had played one. Now, for those unfamiliar with the One Piece franchise, it may be hard for you to justify shelling out the $60. This isn't exactly a game for people completely unfamiliar with either the series or musou games. Pirate Warriors 4 does its best to explain who these characters are, but it's so brief it would be really hard to have a connection with them, thus making those impactful moments hard to emotionally understand. So with that in mind, I do think you should play it, but not yet. Watch some of the series, get a crash course on YouTube, and wait for the price to go down a bit. Overall though, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 was an absolute treat to play. The combat was exceptional and the story was adapted as beautifully as can be. Big thanks to Bandai Namco and Koei Tecmo's Omega Force for the opportunity to check out One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. Now, don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe, hit that little bell to always be in the know, and head on over to cinelinks.com to read more reviews, news, and our takes on the biggest news in gaming, tech, and movies. Follow us on Twitter at Cinelinks and at Move the Joystick. Stay tuned for more videos.